Beautiful people, it's your girl Maureen Ibe, a licensed real estate consultant and investment advisor, and you know how we do it on our series with property developers. Today we have yet another property developer and a professional with over 17 years experience in the industry. So he knows this industry like back of his palm. He's the managing partner at DC Innovate Properties and Asset Limited and a director at Zeus Realities Ltd. Let us welcome Mr. Christian Ebhoma.
Thank you so much, Maureen. I'm so happy being your guest today. I've watched your previous episode and I must confess you are doing a very great work.
Thank you.
And I see this podcast going far.
Amen.
I can't wait to see this go global.
Amen.
Well done.
Thank you, sir. So please, sir, can you give us a little introduction about yourself?
Well, just like you said, my name is Christian Ebhoma, 17 years industry experience. I company with some others were the one that made Papalam to Mowe of Father very popular, because that was those days when we market those areas. We have developed some properties and we also have a flagship estate called Lighthouse Estate. The journey has been good, it has been ugly, it has been bad, but in everything, we thank God for where we are today.
Amazing. I mean, 17 years is not being so. It's not my 17 years. Hey, that I don't know where I am, but 17 years is a lot. And it's great to see that you've built yourself in the industry. So now, this question is very important. My investors are telling me, okay, now, why should investors trust you? Because a lot of developers have disappointed buyers. So why should investors trust your company?
Well, two things stand us out: integrity and delivery. Now, if there's anything that is very scarce in this industry, it is integrity. Integrity is very, very scarce. And that is why you have all manner of fraudulent activities going on in this industry, because there is scarcity of integrity. And I tell people, real estate is sweet. You can easily make it in real estate. When there is darkness and you have a little light, that little light will brighten that environment despite that darkness. Now, in a place where you have absence of integrity or scarcity of integrity, and you have one person or few people that decide to stand out, of course, you can predict the outcome. So for us, one thing that has sold us over the years is integrity. Personally, people call me based on recommendation. I have people call me from US, from UK, all over the world. And what they tell me is somebody recommended you, somebody recommended you. Now, when you are a person of integrity and you don't cut corners, you will definitely have people who will recommend you. And in this industry, there is also scarcity of competence.
Okay.
Today, because of course we are working on regulations, Redan is working on a whole lot of regulations to curb the excess of all commerce affairs in the industry. Somebody can just wake up today and become a real estate consultant. Anybody can just be a real estate consultant without going through the right channels. So as a result of that, you have scarcity of competence. Number one, I've talked about character. Then number two, competence. So there is issue with competence. You call yourself a real estate consultant, you can't differentiate between governor consent and CFO. You know, you can't even identify a registered survey from a non-registered survey. So there is problem with competence. Yes, these people are making money, but making money is not all there is to life. So there is the place of competence. So in my company, we have assembly of people that are competent. The other part that I told you about is delivery. In this industry, people promise, they don't deliver. So delivery is an issue. You have a lot of people who paid and they've not got allocation. Some people got allocation, they can't do anything on it. We, as a company, we under promise, we over deliver.
This is a very important question that a lot of people have in their mind, and even me myself. How do investors avoid being scammed?
I was expecting this question. Now, the major challenge facing real estate in Nigeria as we speak is what you just asked. Scam, fraud. You know, in my intro, I said this is an industry where there is no competence. You know, when I say no competence, I'm not talking in general. We have a whole lot of people in the industry today, you know, calling themselves agents, calling themselves consultants, and yet they lack competence. And the reason why many of them are in there is because, of course, economic situations in the country. So they find real estate industry as a go-to place where they can easily make money. Now, as a result of that, a lot of criminals have penetrated that industry where people lose money on a daily basis. Now, as a people, as a company, every day on my write-ups on LinkedIn, on Facebook, across social media, I've spent years sensitizing people how they can avoid being scammed. But Maureen, do you know what? If you are not greedy, it will be difficult for you to be scammed. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, a lot of people who are scammed, number one, is either they are greedy, number two, or they refuse to do due diligence, number three, they don't want to consult professionals. Somebody call a place for you, and you know by all standard that this place cannot be less than 10 million. And the person say this place is 500,000 naira. And you didn't do any due diligence.
That's true.
You just go there, you see the place. The next thing you do is to transfer money. Your greed has landed you in trouble. Now, the other part is due diligence. There are those who are not necessarily greedy, but they don't do due diligence. They don't ask questions. They don't use professionals. Okay, this is a land. Can I see the document on it? Now, if you can't interpret the document, of course, not every the document layman may not be able to interpret the document. That's why you need professionals to interpret the document for you. I can show you, Maureen, I can show you a C of O. And if I show you, you will say this is original. And that C of O is cloned. So now the question is, how do you identify? How can a layman differentiate between a cloned C of O and an original C of O? The same thing goes with governor consent. The same thing goes for Gazette. To be able to identify fake from original, you need the services of professionals. Vis-a-vis a very good registered surveyor. Maureen, a land can have the same C of O and yet different owner. Somebody can use that C of O to sell land A. How do you identify? So that is where proper due diligence comes in. I've seen a lot of people they will tell me that this is my document, this is C of O, this is the, and I look at it. Because I can interpret, once I look at it, I look at the coordinates, I can tell that this document is not for that land. And yet they've paid. You cannot be too sure, you cannot be too careful with due diligence. Spend money, do charts, save yourself a whole lot of headache. Place of due diligence, don't be greedy, use professionals.
Very important. Thank you so much for sharing that. Use professionals. Professionals will help you, they'll guide you. That is why we're doing all of this. We want you to learn. Now, have you ever sold a property that later had issue? What happened and how did your company handle it?
You, with 17 years experience in this industry, if I tell you the answer is no, that would be a lie. You know, when I was doing my introduction, so we have the good, the bad, the ugly. You know, and of course, that part is one of the ugliest period. There was this client here in Lagos. We helped her to acquire this property 2011, that is 14 years ago. You know, and just this year, of course, over time she has got all her documents, registered survey, you know, even up to global C4, because that place they all came together, they acquired a global C4. The land used to be under government acquisition, so they were able to get a gazette, and it got a global excision. Now, just this year, we just saw a notice, from Lagos State government. 10 houses were marked. This was a house that has a global excision.
Okay.
All right. And our attention was called. Myself and my colleague, we got to that house and we saw it, and we were invited. There was a phone number that was pasted there. We called the person, and he started by saying that land belonged to another family, that you are invited to Lagos State land grabbing, blah blah blah, to come and arguably there is an office in Lagos State that deals with this issue of land grabbing. So we went there with all our documents, all the titles on that property. We had the meetings. Luckily, the woman was there. The woman happened to be a member of the family, but she was claiming that the land was not properly sold, and as such, she wants to get her own entitlement. Our lawyer also was there, armed with all the necessary agreements, titles, and what have you. Then representative of the government were also there, and we presented all our documents. When government saw the global excision signed by governor, the former governor Tunde Fashola, that was the end of that meeting. So they told the woman, "Oh yeah, where are your own papers?"
Okay, now.
And the woman started stammering. As I'm telling you, that case died that way.
Wow.
Now, if we never had any documents, we will still be dragging here and there. Somebody bought land for 20,000 30 years ago, and you're asking the person to come and pay 20 million this year. It doesn't make any sense. I also believe that the government has a whole lot to do with this land grabbing, because it's becoming a norm in Lagos State. There are some people that are taking as a full-time job. You consult them. If you want to grab land, you consult these guys. They come and they chase people away and they take over that land.
Wow.
Yes, it's happening. It's happening everywhere.
Wow.
Now. So this is also a call to our able governor. People are suffering under the activities of land grabbers in Lagos State.
What is that one experience that made you almost quit real estate?
Yeah, thank you so much, Maureen. And this question for me is very nostalgic. We woke up to the publication. I can still remember vividly. It was a Punch newspaper. After seeing the publication in the office that morning, we started receiving calls from all our clients. What was the publication? Ogun State government made a publication that 1.5 kilometer on either side of Papalanto, which is in Ogun State, under Obafemi Owode local government, way of further access, that 1.5 kilometer on both sides of that road belongs to the government. And exactly on that road, the company I worked for that time, that is where we have our estates. And as at that time, I had more than 30 clients that have bought into that scheme. It was a tough period. Throughout that week, it's not something I wish for anybody. I was receiving call from all of my clients. MD of the company then, with some other people, had to visit Ogun State government to find out what can be done and all of that. So at the end of the day, there was some level of mitigations. They were able to mitigate. I think there was option of ratifications and what have you. But the experience almost frustrated me. Almost frustrated me, because you don't know the call that will come in the next minute. Especially when they see such publication, they feel that their money is gone. But you need to assure them that your money is not gone. That experience almost made me to say, hey, this real estate, am I sure I can?
do it.
Funny enough, it happened again this year. I think Ogun State government still came up with some list of estate. I think Lagos State government also came up
Yes.
with their own list too. You know, I can't imagine what the companies affected will be passing through. And the fact that an estate name appear on that list does not necessarily make them fake. Perhaps they are still working on their documentations, their titles.
What do you say to people that always say this? Real estate in Nigeria is package fraud. What do you say to them?
So I relate with them, and I try to look at it from the place of empathy.
Okay.
There is no way you can lose millions and you'll be happy. You can't. There's no way. And so, but however, you can't, because you visit a market and you buy a fake product from that market, you now label the whole market as fraud.
Exactly.
You don't do that. You don't do that. As much as we try to empathize with such people, I also want to encourage them that we still have competent people, we still have people of character, we still have people of integrity in the industry. And I may bold to say Maureen is one of them. At least I've dealt with you for some years now. And my company is also one of them. You know, and like I said in my intro, our selling point: integrity, delivery, and competence.
Amazing. Thank you so much, sir, for this interview. It has really been an eye-opener, and I appreciate you for giving me the opportunity to
always
to speak, to talk to our investors, because we care about you. That's the reason why we're doing all of this. And if you're following me, watching my videos, like I said before, you should not make mistake, or you should not be scammed when you're investing in the Nigerian real estate industry. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment, share to that your uncle, your friend, your auntie, your sister, so that when they're investing in Nigerian real estate market, they have confidence. Because why we're doing this video is that we want you to have confidence when you're investing in the market. So if you don't share it to them, they won't see it. So share it as much as you can so that people can see it. So you can also save them from making no mistake when investing in Nigerian real estate market. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I'm your girl, and once it comes to real estate matter, I'm your go-to girl. You guys know I've got you in my heart. So thank you so much for watching this episode. Do have a great day. Bye.
Thank you.